Well, I wouldn't have been there if I hadn't been blue, drowned in memories in the 90 proof, feeling all the hurt and every word of every George Jones song. I wouldn't have stayed so late if I hadn't been damned, wouldn't have ordered me another round. I'd have just had one, been done, then gone on home. But you would have walked in and it would have been someone else sitting in this bar. But lucky for me, I was just sitting there falling apart. We wouldn't have danced, you wouldn't have called. I'd have missed this chance to fall. Now look at where we are, it all started with a broken heart.
I wouldn't know love, not the kind that's true, if it went the way I wanted it to. If I done got it right the first time, damn, it would have been so wrong.
'Cause you would have walked in and it would have been someone else sitting in this bar. But lucky for me, I was just sitting there falling apart. We wouldn't have danced, you wouldn't have called. I'd have missed this chance to fall. Now look at where we are, it all started with a broken heart over whiskey, loneliness and pain.
As hard as it was, I wouldn't change a thing.
You would have walked in and it would have been
Someone else sitting in this bar.
but lucky for me, I was just sitting there falling apart. We wouldn't have danced, you wouldn't have called. I missed this chance to fall. Oh, look at where we are, it all started with a broken.
Yeah, you've got me in your arms. It's all started with a broken heart.
Yeah, it started with a broken heart.
Standing on this runway, still in dirty boots. You in that dress, as I'm holding on to you. I feel San Diego sun and ocean breeze, but I can't erase the things that I've seen. So will you wait for me? Because I'm try to run, but that war won't let go. I'm only half the way home. So welcome home from the fire, but it feels like my heart's wrapped in barbed wire. And as you're holding on to me, I just can't erase the things that I've seen. So will you wait for me? Because I'm half the way home. I'm only half the way home. I try to run, but that war won't let go. I'm only half the way home. As I stare into your eyes.
Hi, my name is Doug. I'm the president of Guardians of the Purple Heart, and we are a 501c3 approved nonprofit organization based here in southeastern Connecticut that specializes in obtaining items or services for Connecticut combat wounded veterans that aren't being met by other organizations like the VA. So what we like to think is where the VA or these other establishments have to leave off because of their corporate red tape and limitations, we can come in behind them and fulfill these needs by reaching out to the community, working with our vast network of supporters, and just coming together as a whole and supporting these Purple Heart recipients and improving their overall quality of life. A lot of people ask us how do they get involved and how do they join in on the fun with us. A lot of things you could do. Follow us on Facebook, #1, Instagram, Twitter. Go to our website at gotph.org. You can send donations, send us a message. Spread the word of what we're doing. All the Connecticut Purple Heart recipients, we are out there trying to make a difference in their lives. So please give us a hand and join in on the fun.
Hey, this is Texas singer-songwriter Sergeant Scotty Frazier, proud to have served in the United States Marine Corps and now proud to serve with music. I am honored to be interviewed by and partner with Fubar Studio, the best in military and veteran supporting podcasts. Check them out, and thank you for your service for our American heroes. Also check out scottyfrazier.com for more of my music, and check us out on Spotify, Amazon, and where all good things are streaming. Semper Fi, rock and roll.
Bring your appetite down to Big Belly Cafe, 140 Gore Street, Webster, Mass. for curbside, takeout, and indoor seating. Visit bigbellycafe.com to view their hours, menu, and order online. For reservations, please call ahead at 508-949-2433. Follow Big Belly Cafe on Facebook for weekly and daily specials. And remember, all veterans receive a discount for their recognition of service. Big Belly Cafe. Reedy's Archery, located in Middleborough, Mass. at 121 Wood Street, has been a staple in the area since 1993 and has become the one-stop pro shop for competitive target archers and bow hunters from New England. Reedy's is open Monday through Thursday, 12 p.m. to 8 p.m., Saturdays, 10 p.m. to 4 p.m. Make sure to visit reedysarchery.com and follow them on Facebook to keep up with upcoming events. Reedy's Archery, dedicated to the archer. Wolf Aviation Network is the only flight school in the area utilizing the Airwolf Simulator AATD and the specialized Part 61 training program designed to save students money while increasing safety and efficiency. Creating safe pilots is our first priority. Our flight sim is the perfect training device. It is designed to prepare students adequately before taking flight in our aircraft. Fly with us and save money. Wolf Aviation. Reserve your spot at 413-563-1929 and visit wolfaviationnetwork.com.
Can't believe you're doing this alone.
I've done it before.
I remember. You threw your back out. How you holding up?
Hand me that board.
Nothing wrong with getting help.
I'm good.
I did it when Felicia left.
I'll figure it out.
I know you will, but you don't have to do it alone. That's all I'm saying.
If I promise to look into it, will you drop it and help me build this fence?
Now you need my help.
It can be a real pain sometimes, you know that?
Mm-hmm.
If you or a veteran you know needs support, don't wait. Reach out. Find resources at va.gov/reach.
That would be cool.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Drivers, start your engine!
So many people have these big goals, these big dreams that they're too scared to go after, and they go to the grave with them. I went to my first 2 ships for 4 years, went on 1 deployment per ship. I just kept on having this vision of me racing in the Cup Series and walking out to driver intro when I was on the ship on deployment. I made that decision on deployment that, hey, NASCAR was where I was gonna go. I've been the only person who's been in the Navy, African-American, and also racing in NASCAR.
Everything he's done in the military, he's now putting into a car. This work ethic is something that I've never seen before. I would get these calls and text messages like 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning from Jesse, and I say, man, what are you doing? And he'll be in his racing simulator at 1:30 in the morning. He'll spend any amount of time, any amount of effort to achieve his ultimate goal.
Daytona International Speedway, just 3 years after being on the ships, is pretty amazing. You start learning that you really gotta surround yourself with great people. You start feeding off of it and you start going places. On the ships, I learned that that was necessary to become part of the team, because if I kept on doing my own thing, then the team wouldn't work. And if the team doesn't work, equipment breaks, people get hurt. The people who are like-minded with you, they'll push you to stay on course. It shaped me a lot. I mean, I wouldn't be who I am today.
first stock car race of 2018 is green. Here we go from Daytona.
Some years ago when I was sitting in the Arabian Gulf, never would have thought that I'd be sitting here at Daytona. This takes a lot of effort, a lot of grind, and never quitting. There was many times I wanted to quit. I wrecked out of 6 of my first 7 races. After each one, I could have easily been like, why am I doing this still? Quit. But I told myself, no, it's gonna get better. Went to my 4th race, wrecked again. Now it's gonna get better. Got to my 5th, wrecked again. Now it's gonna get better. Got to my 6th, and wrecked again. Like you're in it, you're in the thick of it, and you have got to just tough through it. The amount of confidence I've been able to gain, the way I can attack goals, I learned a lot of it in the Navy, and I was not going to be able to do that if I wasn't. You got to begin walking and keep walking and start running, keep grinding. Even when you trip and fall, you get up and you go. Anytime someone tells you you can't, look the other way and you keep going. My name is Lieutenant Jesse Iwuji, and I'm a surface warfare officer in the United States Navy.
Welcome everybody. Welcome to another episode. I'm your host Doug, and today we've got a special guest with us, Jesse Iwuji. He's a U.S. Navy officer and all this, as well as a NASCAR driver and a bunch of other stuff. But we'll get into it. But I want to say thanks for all of our last guests, as well as all of our sponsors and all of our viewers. We appreciate you guys checking in, and we're going to jump right into this episode. And Jesse, go ahead and introduce yourself and give us a little bit of background about you.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for having me on the show. So, yeah, my name is Jesse Iwuji. Originally, I'm from Dallas, Texas. That's where I grew up. Both my parents are immigrants from Nigeria. They came to the U.S. in the 80s, had me and my 2 brothers and my sister. We all grew up in Texas. Obviously, for my brothers and I, football was our biggest thing that we played. So everybody knows Texas football is huge. So I had this big goal and dream to go off to college and play college football. As I got better and better through middle school, high school, eventually put myself in a position where I started getting recruited by some schools. And one of those schools was the Naval Academy. For me, it was a great opportunity to go to a great school, get a great education, play for a great team, and then when I graduate, be able to serve in the United States Navy as an officer. So I took that opportunity, went to the Naval Academy, played football there for all 4 years, graduated in 2010. While at the Naval Academy, sorry to all my Air Force and Army friends, but we did beat Army and Air Force all 4 years.
Hell yeah. Hey, I got to give it to you. It's a big rival. West Point, between West Point and the Naval Academy and Air Force
and Air Force too. Yeah. It's all big. Yeah. So I did that, graduated in 2010, became a surface warfare officer in the Navy. I was on the ships. I went on 2 different deployments with my first 2 ships, and then transitioned to shore duty after that, and was on shore for a couple of years. During the free time that I did have in between deployments and when I was back at home living in San Diego at that time, I was developing this passion for cars. And I had a Dodge Challenger that I would go drag race with. I was modifying it, drag racing, modify, drag race, break it, modify it, fix. You just keep on going that whole circle. And then one day I was at C6 Z06. I took that Corvette to the road course track, started doing some road course track days with it. And just doing some amateur track day stuff, nothing too crazy, but super fun, and opportunity to expose myself to motorsports. And that little bit of exposure, all of a sudden, just tipped something off in my head that I could become a professional race car driver. And I was crazy enough to believe it was possible, crazy enough to not give up. And I decided to start going down that route. And through a lot of networking, through a lot of grinding, through a lot of figuring out how to put together the funding and how to drive race cars, right? I had to teach myself on Racing Simulator at home.
I have a sim here at home. I've been training myself on there for 10 years now. But yeah, just doing what I could to figure things out, and slowly over time worked my way into different positions, whether it was racing late model stock cars at Irwindale Speedway, to moving up to the NASCAR K&N series, then the ARCA series, and the NASCAR Truck series, NASCAR Xfinity series. I've been doing this all for the last 10 years now. And then outside of that, the entrepreneurship life, I decided to transition from active duty to the Navy Reserve so I could have more free time to do all the stuff I'm doing. Started my own businesses as well. I put on drag racing events. I have a trucking business as well, a semi truck. We run Amazon goods. Have a film production company that I'm partnered up with some people on. Do some real estate investing. Do a little bit of government contracting. I'm all over the place. I have an esports company too as well, the E-Racing Association. We put on big sim racing events, give away big prizes. I'm all over the place. So anything I can do to make a dollar, as long as it's legal.
No, and that's a lot of stuff that you've got into, and coming from as an immigration family coming in here from Nigeria and stuff. That's a lot. And I guarantee your parents are absolutely excited and proud of you to get to where you're at now in your life. That's that's big.
Yeah, definitely pumped.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it, man. And that's great. And I wanted to get in. One of my questions was, where did you grow up at? But you answered that question in Texas. So I've got some other questions, and we wanted to get into this. Is what made you getting into the military, and why did you choose the Navy?
Navy, yeah. So for me, I never really had the initial. It wasn't like some lifelong goal to be in the military, right?
Yeah.
Like I had a lifelong goal to go play football. So as I was playing football in high school, and I was looking at opportunities because I wanted to go play college football. I wanted to play college football at the highest level possible in college football, which is Division 1A, which now is called FBS. I wanted to play the highest level. So like, what can I do to play D1? And I figured out, well, one, I got to be good, and then two, I got to get seen by some schools. So as I was working my butt off, I was just trying to be the best player I could on field and have the best grades I could in class. Putting all that together, I was like, man, I got to find some school. And one of my first schools that recruited me was Louisiana Monroe, which is a Division 1A school. And once I got their first kind of, I don't know if they ever put out an official offer to me, because I didn't get down that far with them because I started talking to other schools. But for me, it was cool. I'm like, okay, finally, like a D1, like no matter what, if I just don't talk to anybody else, I could probably go to Louisiana Monroe. I'll be at a D1A school. But I'm like, man, am I really gonna have fun there? I was like, I'm better than that. I think I can go to a better school. I just kind of stuck it out and just waiting to see what other offers and opportunities came up. And then the Naval Academy came up. And I'm like, oh, this is interesting. And it was not my first choice of places to go, but I was like, let me see if any other opportunities come up. And some other random offers came up, but they were smaller schools. So I looked at it, I'm like, okay, I have these opportunities. Naval Academy, Louisiana Monroe, some other smaller schools. I don't want to go to a small school. I want to go to a school that's playing D1A, and I want to go to one that's doing well too as well. I don't want to just go to any D1A that's just losing all the time. I want to play for a team that's winning because I want to go win games. And I was like, Naval Academy, they're winning games. They had a great record. So I decided that was the route I was going to go, and made that decision and went down that route.
And so, once you get into the Naval Academy, you've got to do a normal, I think, what is it? Is it a 6-year term normally? You sign a 6-year.
So when you graduate from the Naval Academy, it's 5 years. Unless you're a pilot, then it's like 8 or 9 or something like that, where you have to serve longer than normal because of your flight training. Because for the pilots, once they go to flight school and they go through all their different training stuff, it takes a while to become a pilot. It's like 3 or 4 years before you're fully able to go in the fleet and go do your thing. So for the pilots, the aviation guys, I think it's like an 8 or 9 year commitment. For a surface warfare officer like me, it's 5 years, which I obviously did more than 5, and then now I'm still in the reserve, so I'm like at 15 total years.
Nice. Well, we would definitely want to say thank you for your service and everything like that. We appreciate us veterans, and we appreciate each other's services, and we always like to tell that to everybody. So That's definitely honorable of you to definitely do that and to serve your country, and everything. What I wanted to get into, because I know there's a lot of big talk in the racing industry, and as I saw you down in Daytona just recently, you know, what's the what is up with the whole joining the forces with, as much as you can give us, joining the forces with DGM Racing?
Yeah, so we have so for our team, originally Jesse Iwuji Motorsports, we have a long-lasting relationship and partnership with Chevrolet. And going into this year, we're trying to figure out, okay, what can we do to get to the track more? Obviously, the last couple of years we've only been part-time. The year before that, our first year we were full-time. We're trying to get back to more full-time. Like, what can we do? And like, why not join forces with another team? There's resources that we can bring to the table. There's resources that they bring to the table. Obviously, we still have equipment, right? We have 6 cars. We have a 7,500 square foot shop. We have a lot of equipment. We have a ton of stuff. Like, why not? And when we ran our stuff ourselves, it ran really well. Obviously, you're not going to be perfect every single race, but we have some really good, solid runs. So why don't we join forces with another team? We got equipment. We got this partnership with Chevrolet. We got all these things. Let's bring it together with a team that's out there doing it, who's been very consistent, and they know how to stay in the game, right? DGM's been in the game for a very long time. So we'll bring kind of our new resources to a team that's kind of been around for a while. Let's join forces and let's try to create something big. They know how to get it done and stay in the fight, every single year in, year out. They've proven that, why not come together, right? We can do more together than we can apart. So we decided to do that, and so far it's been great. And we're still working out so many different things because we've been working on this deal for the last couple months or so, but it finally came together officially just like literally a week before Daytona. So we're still working out some random kinks and things and trying to make sure everything meshes and gels right, but it's going in the right direction, and we're doing what we can to help each other out.
Now, I know a lot of people probably want to, they always assume, but did you go and talk to DGM Racing, or did they come to you and say, hey, let's kind of join forces with the connections you guys both have?
So yeah, we approached them. One of my partners, Matt Casto, I think was the one who approached them. I don't know how the conversation came about. It wasn't like a thought to approach them about this. It just randomly came about. I think somebody had just mentioned like, hey, have you ever thought of like maybe joining forces with another team, doing a merger kind of deal? And we're like, we haven't really fully thought about that, but that's an interesting idea. And then we started exploring it, and we started talking to a couple different teams, but it wasn't just fully going to work with them. And then somebody just mentioned DGM. They're like, you should reach out to DGM. We're like, yeah, sure. We might as well just reach out to them and see if it's a thought. And then, they were interested, and we just kept the conversations going. And yeah, now we're here.
Now, are you going to get back? Are you going to get back into racing? Because I think what it was.
Yeah,
was
definitely,
it 2022?
for sure. Yeah, my last race was in 2023. But yeah, I will definitely be getting back into the seat at some point. Racing is not free; it costs a lot of money. So we got to put together money. It doesn't matter if you're on the ownership side. Like some people think, oh, if you're like an owner, you should be able to just run whenever you want. That's not the case. It costs just as much money for me to go run as it does for somebody else to jump in the seat and go run. So usually when you got drivers who have funding, right, they're in the seat, right, because that keeps everything going. If I go when I find sponsorship, then I'll jump in for the races that we can figure out that are available. So yeah, I plan on definitely racing this year, next year, and for multiple years on after that.
Absolutely, definitely good to hear that. And as I know, as you were mentioning at the beginning of it, is you started the whole ERA and stuff like that. How did that come about in forming that? I know it was around, was it just right before COVID and all that, or was that before COVID?
It was kind of in the middle of it. So in 2020, into 2020, we decided to start the E-Racing Association because we wanted to put on an event series for sim racers where they could feel like a professional driver. We wanted to give away bigger cash prizes than what they're normally used to in most of their league races that they do on iRacing. We also wanted to make sure that they had this broadcast opportunity where they're being broadcasted, with some professional broadcasters and commentators and so on. We wanted to put all that stuff together so you felt like a real pro. Obviously, it's very difficult to get out there and race real life NASCAR, get the opportunity to jump in one of those cars, find the money to put together to jump in one of those cars. It's difficult. It's not easy. But what you can do is, put together a couple grand and have your own sim at home and compete on that. So why not let's make the most realistic, professional racing environment that we can for people, and then give away cash prizes. And I mean, if you went and we have 4 big iRacing events a year, and then we put on Forza events too as well. If you went and won all 4 of our big iRacing events, that's $16,000 right there. It's a lot of money. So to be at home just playing on a video game.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I've seen some of these races, and unfortunately, I haven't had the chance to jump into them. Even though I know I've got the membership, and they're like, oh yeah, you can get two races, entries, no problem type deal. And I just never had the chance to do it, but I'm not no professional by any means. But I always see it, and I was watching it, and I'm like, just seeing these guys that are on the video, they're always, happy as hell, when they do win the races or when they're getting close to it. It's like, you can see it in their face that they're excited as hell. It's like, wow, that's crazy, But what's next, for you in the whole Jesse Iwuji motorsports? I mean, what else are you looking at diving into potentially?
Yeah, right now the focus is running this season, getting back on track, and completing this whole year. That's the main focus right now. We want to continue to create opportunities, right, for as many people as we can. We want to continue to, find opportunities for more drivers too as well. We're right now, each race, actually last 2 races between Atlanta and Daytona, we brought 3 cars. DJM's got those cars ready at the shop, and we've gotten these things out there, and they've been running. And there'll be more races where there'll be 3 cars. There'll be some races where there'll be 2, but it's cool to have these cars out there, out in the field and competing. Great drivers with Ryan Ellis, Josh Balicki, CJ McLaughlin, all people I've known for some years now. And we got other people hopefully down the line who will be jumping into the seat. And yeah, we look forward to just building this thing out. But right now the focus is just building what we have right now. You don't want to get spread too thin, although I'm always spread thin on a million different things. But with the race team, let's kind of focus on, hey, this is what we got right now. Let's work on this. Let's build this out as much as we can, and let's just keep developing the partnership.
Absolutely. And our final question for you is, are we going to get to see you guys race at Phoenix?
Yeah, so the team will be there at Phoenix, both Phoenixes, in the spring and also in the fall. So we will be out there running, and it should be good. Hopefully we'll get some good runs in and some good finishes. Nice.
And but other than that, definitely do appreciate you coming on this evening and talking and sharing the story. And to our guests and everything, we definitely appreciate you guys checking in this evening, and we salute you all, the veterans and everything. We appreciate you guys' service, and we'll definitely catch you guys on the next one. Until next time, everybody, we'll catch you later.
Shut up! Shut up!
Yeah. Shut up!
You suck!
Stop! In the name of all that which does not suck.
Thanks for watching Fubar Studios Veteran Reinforcement. Please make sure to check out the Fubar Studios on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and visit the website at fubarstudio.com. Fubar Studios is a Sinista1 Productions.